On January 11th, when we started this semester, the idea of our identity variable was introduced to us, and we were asked to start thinking about what we wanted to focus on. On January 21st, the Women's March on Washington takes place. All over the world, women march to protect their own rights and safety. They march for equal pay in the workplace and also to protect their reproductive rights and health. On January 22nd, I saw this repost on my Facebook feed. In the original post, the author explains why she doesn't feel like she needs to march because she's already got rights. Well, historically, someone already had to fight for her rights, but we won't get into any of that today. I acknowledge that people's opinions are going to differ. However, I was surprised to see this addition to the post written by a family member whom I love and respect immensely. The quote reads, "My feelings exactly, get a husband, have a family, and get a real life." This post made me really sad because I always thought this person respected me and how I lived my life. The day I read this post was the day I decided what I was going to focus on for this project. For clarification purposes, I want to say that I am in no way against marriage. I would like to get married someday, and I do have one of those secret wedding Pinterest pages. When it comes to the rules of society, though, why should there be something wrong with not being married at my age? Why should there be something wrong with me? Turns out I am not the only one. These days, less and less people are taking the big plunge for reasons that vary from not being financially stable yet to not knowing what they want yet and also just not being ready. As we can see here, the number of people ages 25 and older that never get married tend to rise every year. When it comes to the stigmas that singles face, I've broken it down into two categories: friends and family and society. Friends and family will constantly ask you when you're going to settle down, typically because they themselves equate happiness with being coupled up. They'll give you unsolicited advice, and of course they'll try to set you up with every single person that they know. The worst, though, that happens is when your own family gives up on you. Before I turned 35, my mom always reminded me that she wanted me to have children. After I turned 35, that automatically changed to, well, it would have been nice to have grandchildren from you. Now, just to clarify, I can still have kids, but she just gave up. So where's the incentive for me to find someone that deserves me if my own family gives up on me? In society, you're going to encounter people in work environments and social environments that automatically assume that you're married based on your age. Unfortunately, people also tend to think that it's appropriate to remind you that your biological clock is ticking after you tell them that you're not married with kids. Look at poor Marcia. Look at her fist. Singleism is defined as the stigmatizing of adults who are single, including stereotyping and discrimination. Now, stereotypes I can handle. People want to think that someone like myself is lonely and miserable, and my only purpose in life is to find a partner. I can look past that, because that's their own ignorance. Discrimination, however, is a different story. Singleism says that you may be discriminated against for jobs or job promotions. One of the studies that I read tested the theory that married men get paid more because they have more incentive to work harder and longer hours because they have families at home. Your eligibility to adopt a child as a single person is greatly reduced over being part of a couple, and you also may be passed over in housing situations just based on your single status because two incomes are better than one. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Jen. We have been friends since the year 2000. She's probably the most interesting person that I know. She's the epitome of a lifelong learner, having studied numerous subjects in many different places solely because she likes to learn. She's well respected in her field, and she's totally financially independent. She lives a lavish lifestyle and eats at the best restaurants and has a closet full of designer clothes and shoes. The coolest thing about Jen is that she loves to travel. This is a map of all the countries of the world that she's been to, highlighted in orange. Check out the pictures that she let me grab from her Facebook page. I don't think she looks too miserable. What do you guys think? In conclusion, remember to think twice when you encounter someone that is single. Before you think of them as someone that is without, try to find out what they're all about instead. Some people choose to be single. Don't assume they want you to set them up. Don't assume and don't give them advice about their own love lives. And finally, be careful what you post on social media because you never know whose feelings you might hurt. Thank you for your time.